Om Sang Saraswati Namaha Namaste. And tonight we're going to begin chapter 7. Let's go back and talk about the meaning. Sri Bhagavan Vacha, the respected Supreme Divinity, said, "Listen, O son of she who excels, Arjuna, as to how you will know me completely beyond a doubt by taking refuge in me through the practice of union with your mind centered on me. I shall teach you that unending knowledge and wisdom which, when understood, nothing more remains to be understood. Among thousands of men, few strive for perfection, and even among those who strive, few know my reality." Most of us are just out there roaming around the world of objects and relationships and can't even find time to think about God for a moment. Earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intellect, and ego are the 8 divisions of my nature. This pure Sankhya philosophy, the Panch Mahabhut and the Antakaran. These are the 8 divisions of nature. So we have the 5 elements of existence, Chitti, Ap, Tej, Moru, Bom, and the Antakaran, the inner cause of being, Mon, Buddhi, Chitta. It's Ahamkara. This is my lower nature. This is manifested. But different from it, know my higher existence of life by which the perceivable universe is supported, O one of mighty arms, Arjuna. So then this is Prakriti, the divisions of Prakriti, but know the Purusha. And Puru Isha iti Purusha, that full, complete, and perfect consciousness, the perceiver of all, the witness, the wearer of the body, that Atma, that Paramatma. Know the Paramatma and rise above the limitations of the mind and the intellect and the ego. Rise above the body. Don't be encumbered by the body. The body is a vehicle. It's not the owner of the soul. Remember last night, only the soul is friend to the soul, and only the soul is the enemy to the soul. And how does the soul become an enemy? When we allow the body and the ego and all the fabrications of the mind to encumber the soul. We start to react to stimulations to the body rather than knowing the Purusha, that full, perfect, completely stainlessly pure consciousness which is above the witness of all the phenomena of nature. Know this to be the womb of all beings. I am the origin of the entire perceivable universe, as also the terminus as well. I am the Adi Ant. I am the beginning and I am the end, and in between, Kato Ganda Guru. Kitne chanchal. And in the middle, there's all this confusion and all this attachment and all this, it's got to be for me. There's all this selfish behavior, and I, Krishna, am the Adi, and I, Krishna, am the Ant. And Majkana Aim Ring Kling Chamundai, it's revolving according to its nature because that's its nature. And who gets to perceive this Who gets to witness this evolution? The soul. The conscious being within, the wearer of the body, the witness of all the phenomena of nature. No one is higher than me, conqueror of wealth, Arjuna. Nothing greater. I am the infinite consciousness. I am the Adi Ant. I am the origin and the terminus. Nothing is greater than me. Nothing is higher than me. And I am defined as na iti, neti, neti. All this is bound by me as a necklace of gems by a string. So here we are in the Dharma Sutra. Like we're sewing together all these objects and relationships into an cohesive experience which gives birth to me. Now, who is the perceiver? Is it me, this little vyakti, this little individual caught in my own desires? Or can I be the witness perceiving from above, seeing as Ishvara sees, without limitation? Ish, to perceive. And Ishvara perceives without limitation, without end. He perceives as Krishna perceives. And Ra means again, plus Ish, Rishi. He sees again like Ishvara sees. He becomes Rishi. I am the taste of the water, O son of who takes away the deficiency of others, Arjuna. I am the luster of the moon and the sun. I am the sound of Om in the Vedas. I am the perfect nature of men. I am the pure smell of the earth and the light of the fire. I am the life of all existence and the purifying austerities of the performers of austerities. I am their tapash. Tapashya devo devato argamayam taposi sarvam pratishtita tasmat tapa sreshta. Tapasya deva devato argamayam. In the beginning, the devas, the shining ones, the pure beings, the gods became divine through tapasya. Now, tapasya actually means adding heat. And you know what? From the point of view of God, from Krishna's perception, every vibration creates friction. And all friction adds heat. Every movement of existence is tapasya. Now, from our limited standpoint of view, we say, I'm doing premeditated, motivated activities designed to purify myself. And these austerities we are calling tapasya. Now, as we grow deeper and deeper in our understanding, we find that every atom is performing tapasya. And Krishna is the austerity that they are performing. Then we see God in every action. And we see every action in God. I am the seed of all beings. Know me, son of she who excels Arjuna, as he turned. I am the intelligence of the intelligent, the light of all illumination. I am the strength of the strong, without desire or passion. I am the desires in beings which do not conflict with the ideal. These are the desires in harmony with Dharma. Everybody has Icha, Kriya, and Jnana Shakti. The desire is inherent, but he is the desires which do not conflict with the ideal. That is, desires in conformity with Dharma. The desire to be with Guru. The desire to listen to the scripture. The desire to perform puja, or to perform whatever task of life that I'm granted as a puja. Those are the pure desires in which God has made manifest. O descendants of the light of wisdom, Arjuna, I am those desires as well. And all beings which have an attitude of sattva, raja, and tamas, know that they came from me. Now everything has sattva, raja, and tamas. They are omnipresent. So I've given birth to this all. And all three gunas, not just the sattva, but I am everything. But I am not in them, they are in me. I'm only in them so far as they recognize me. But when they're bound by rajas and by tamas and selfishness, then they're not thinking about me. They don't recognize me. They don't perceive me as being in them. But they're in me. This entire perceivable universe is deluded by the attitudes of these three qualities, and they don't know me who am beyond without change. I am the witness. I don't change. I am the same. I was there when I was a young man. I was there when I was in middle age. I am still here today, and there's a probability I'm not going anywhere. They don't know me, who doesn't change. They only know the changes. It is really difficult to move beyond this illusion manifest by these divine qualities. Only those who take refuge in me can move beyond the illusion. And that's what we're striving to do, Krishna. We're striving to take refuge in you so that you take the energy away from the illusion and give it to the illuminator. And we have more energy and more capacity to perceive without the illusion, to perceive through the illusion. Those fools who perform evil and do not take refuge in me are the lowest of men. Illusion deprives them of wisdom, and they take refuge in the attitudes of duality. And that's what we call foolishness. Taking refuge in the attitudes of duality. Clarity of pure devotion. 4 kinds of people worship me who perform good actions. There are 4 lovers of God. One who is in distress, one who desires knowledge, one who desires wealth, and one who is wise. O seer among the descendants of the light of wisdom, Arjuna. So there are 4 kinds of people that come towards God. When we're in distress, we say, hey God, take away my problem. Give me the solution. When we want knowledge, we say, hey God, make me a little smarter than I am so that I can progress in life. When we desire wealth, we say, hey, God, please let me win the lottery. And it's only the wise who love God just because of their wisdom. We say there are 4 kinds of beings that want to call on God. There's a man of physical sorrows and pain, a man of mental affliction, lovers, and wise people. And you see the lovers come and they get a license to perfect their love, and they get to celebrate their love in the presence of God. And the man who is afflicted with mental anxiety, when he finds a solution to his problems, he usually goes back to the world. In fact, he usually goes back to the very cause that caused the affliction in the first place. The man of physical sufferings, as soon as he finds a cure to his disease, goes out and stridently tries to contract another one. And it's only the men of wisdom and women of wisdom, the beings of wisdom who really love God and want to stay there. Stay with God. Because the pull of the world, the illusion of the world is so strong. wise who are eternally united with devotion and oneness are most excellent. If you've got devotion, you've got wisdom. That is the apex of wisdom, is to be devoted. All the wisdom boils down to one thing: how much do you love? So only those who are united with devotion in oneness, they come to union. Because they're so much in love they can't think of anything else. They are the most excellent. For I am especially beloved to the wise, as he is beloved to me. Now that's our true relationship. It's mutual and reciprocal. All of these are surely noble, but the wise who has fixed his soul fixed in thoughts of me, for he has united his soul in me as the supreme refuge. And that's wisdom. Saying, hey, this transient world is going to come, it's going to go. What does that mean to us? What are you going to do in between? But if you unite our souls in God, as the supreme refuge, with pure devotion, uniting in oneness, we are sure to become noble. At the end of many births, the man of wisdom enters me. God is all of this. Such a great soul is hard to find and hard to become. But what a goal worthy of our pursuit. I mean, while we're here manifested in a human body, is there any other pursuit more worthy of our efforts? Those whose wisdom has been clouded by various desires enter other divinities. Having followed various disciplines, they are led by their own nature. So in whatever way you choose to worship God, you can choose to worship God in the form of money. And you enter Kuber, and you enter the Yaksh, and you become one with the beings of wealth. If you choose to follow God through the Kama Sutra, you enter into desires. If you choose to enter God in through various disciplines, led by your own nature, you're going to end up there. So be very careful to discriminate who you associate with, because there is a probability that you're going to end up assuming the value system of your associates. And being pulled by your own nature and by your own value system, by your own definition of goals, you will pursue that form of divinity that becomes divine to you. Your divine example. That's why we say in Bengali, Guru hoche lak lak, Shisha hoche ek. Hundreds and thousands of gurus you'll find, but to find a real disciple is very difficult. Be very careful to whom you choose to emulate. Whose example you choose to follow, that will be your guru. Whatever a devotee desires to offer with faith, to whichever form he chooses, to him I grant immovable faith. Wherever you choose to place your faith. Some choose to place it in a relationship with people. Some choose to place it in a relationship with things. Some choose to place it in a relationship with the guru. And some choose to place it in a relationship with God. In any way a devotee desires to offer their faith, in whichever form they choose, Krishna, God is giving us immovable faith. Go ahead, pursue your goal. I grant you faith. United with that faith, he engages in the satisfaction of that form. and from that form he attains fulfillment of the desire which surely has been proclaimed by me. So all the desires are proclaimed by God. Go ahead, follow your own. I'm going to follow mine. I request from you the amount of respect that I'm going to give to you, that you allow me and empower me and enable me to follow my goal as I allow you to follow yours. If you have no interest in studying the Bhagavad Gita, there is no necessity to come to the Devi Mandir. If you choose to follow other forms of divinity or follow other forms of worldliness, my blessings are with you. But let only those who choose to come, let them come. But finite are the fruits of those with small intelligence. It's true. It's a finite fruit that they will find. For those who sacrifice to the gods, go to the gods, my devotees also come to me. If you choose any form of divinity, whether it be wealth, knowledge, success, fame, enjoyment, pleasure, or whatever form you choose to idolize and take refuge in, go ahead. But you will find that the fruits of that pursuit will be finite. And if you choose to take refuge in the infinite, the pure, the everlasting and eternal, my devotees come to me. Choice is yours. And so many people ask, why did God create evil? Why did God make confusion? He said, I'm empowering you to make any choice you choose. I'm giving you all of creation in which to play. Choose what you want. You want to play with the things that are going to be transient? Or do you want to come and be with me? You can't blame me that you chose the evil path. I didn't create the evil. It was your desire that made it evil. The unknowing think of me as having come into manifestation from the unmanifest. They do not know my supreme attitude as immutable and most excellent. So in the Purusha Shukta it says that 3/4 of me is in the highest heaven unmanifest. Only 1/4 of me is what you see in all manifested existence. So now, if you're unknowing, you say God has come into manifestation and then he's gone in back into the unmanifest, but in reality, the supreme, only a small portion of him is manifest. He's even bigger than this. I alone am the illuminator of this all, of the measurement of consciousness in union and all its modifications. I illuminate Maya. I create the Maya. I illuminate the Maya. I allow Maya to measure consciousness when it unites, when nature unites with consciousness. And I allow it to change and make modifications. Vritti rupena samstita. Deluded by all this, people do not know me, the unborn and unchanging. They keep seeing the changes. They forget to look for that which doesn't change. I know the past and the present clarity of your devotion, the future and all beings born, but no one knows me. From the ignorance which arises from attraction and repulsion, O descendant of the light of wisdom, Arjuna, all beings born are controlled by ignorance from this birth, O supreme light, Arjuna. So now here we have our senses are going outside and we are attracted to phenomena and we are repulsed by phenomena. And from birth, all we're seeing is attraction and repulsion. And sukh and dukh, and pleasure and pain. And all this is revolving around and that's all we're thinking about. Our minds are so mesmerized and captivated by this whole attracting process that we forget to look for the supreme illuminator which doesn't change. Men whose sins have ended through meritorious actions are liberated from the ignorance of opposites. They constantly sing to me with intense vows. That's cool. They constantly sing to me with intense vows. What else would you want to do once you become liberated, or even striving for liberation from this wheel of existence, this attraction and repulsion? Or when we can purify all the confusion of all these things calling to us. Hey, be attracted to me, be repulsed by me, go here, go there. When we free ourselves, what's left to do? We gotta sing. Hare Krishna! Those who make efforts to take refuge in me are liberated in old age and death. They know that whole supreme divinity and the entirety of spiritual knowledge. So take efforts, make efforts, and take refuge in God. And then we'll be liberated, even if it comes in old age or in death. Liberation is still freedom. Those who know me as the primary existence, as the highest divinity, and as the ultimate sacrifice, even at the time of leaving, they know me united with consciousness. So the only way to know God, the only way to know Krishna, is as the illuminator, as consciousness, as the capacity of recognition, as pure awareness, as infinite consciousness. In fact, the only way to know Krishna is as we define Shiva, the consciousness of infinite goodness. Do we have any questions? Yes?
Some say God is in the murti, and some that God is in your heart. Some say God is everywhere in nature, and God is also formless. So for a devotee, how do we choose between these different definitions of the destination?
Well, we will find that our consciousness, our awareness is shifting its focal point from moment to moment. And sometimes we look at the murti and we superimpose upon that consciousness the form of divinity and say that divinity is radiating light to me. It is the container of consciousness. It is the symbol of all infinite, all that is divine. And when we see that murti, that image, as the image of divinity, then slowly we close our eyes and look within and feel that divinity within our heart. And when we feel that divinity in our heart, we open our eyes and open our senses and we look around and we see everything that we see is the image of that same love, that same consciousness, that same divinity. And then we close our eyes again and say, hey, I can't reach that far to express how many forms of divinity through which God is manifesting at this moment. So he is infinite. All are true. And if we are devotees, we cultivate every one of those relationships. We pursue God through every form of relationship. We see God in our friend, we see God in our spouse, we see God in the image of divinity, we see God in our families, we see God wherever we can project the form of divinity. There is the presence of God. That's the tapasya. That's the sadhana through which we continually strive to broaden our understanding, broaden our perspective. Don't limit God. Are there other questions?
Swamiji, question from Nanda from San Jose. Can Swamiji say a few words about reincarnation? Thank you.
very difficult to say a few words. I'm sorry, Nanda, I would have to write a book. However, just a few moments we can spend on the subject, because what we're calling reincarnation, I don't believe in. Reincarnation says that you have to allow something to die and then come back to birth again. And let me ask you, what dies? Does consciousness ever die? Consciousness is infinite. How could it die? Well, then does energy ever die? I'm told that kinetic energy becomes potential energy, and potential energy becomes kinetic energy. Energy is never destroyed. Even when you split an atom, the energy is not destroyed, it doesn't die, so how can it be reborn? However, as we have in the foregoing chapters, just as an individual takes off an old cloth and puts on a new one, in the same way, the soul is infinite and it takes on a new body and casts off the old one. Now, where was the death? What died in the process? I don't believe in reincarnation because I don't believe in death. My consciousness is eternal, my energy is eternal, and I don't understand the concept of what dies. When you tell me what dies, then we'll talk about reincarnation. Other questions?
Swamiji, question from Wendy from New Jersey.
Namaste, Wendy. And please give love and our blessings to the whole satsang in New Jersey.
How does my desire make something evil? Isn't it evil to begin with?
No. There is no good or bad inherent to any object. There are two focuses in the Antakaran, Mon and Buddhi. Buddhi is the thing in itself. It's Dravya Swarup. It is the intrinsic nature of the form of the object. And Mon is Gyakti Swarup. It is the nature of the individual. No object has good or bad inherent to the object. But my perception, my selfish desire, my misappropriation of that object for the wrong objective, that makes it evil. There is no evil in the object. The evil is in my mind. So therefore, I don't think that God is the author of evil. My selfishness creates good and evil. If I like it, it's good. And if I don't, it's not. And that is the criterion. Invariably, that's the criteria, Wendy.
Swamiji, question from Usha from Canada.
Namaste, Usha.
So Usha is asking, are the stages of realization always in progressive sequence from stages of dual to non-dual realization and beyond? So Usha gives examples from Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, and she says, Anandamayi Ma, they have said that God is with form and without form and beyond. And she says that Totapuri had Advaita realization but did not perceive divine in all things. He was Thakur's teacher, but Thakur taught him the second realization. And she said, I believe that Vaishnavas teach that dual state is higher than non-dual. And she says, I hope I have been clear enough. Can Swamiji comment?
Namaste. Yes, there are 5 aspects of samadhi. Salokya means in the same paradigm of reality. We're in the same level. Samipya means in the same activity. And these are two forms of Bhav Samadhi. In Bhav Samadhi, there are three in existence. There's a subject, me, an object, you, and a relationship, love. I love you. It's three. So here in Bhav Samadhi we have Salokya, we're in the same paradigm of reality. And Samipya, we're doing the same thing. I'm loving you, and you are loving me. And that love gets so intense that we leave the Bhav Samadhi and we enter into Savikalpa Samadhi. And Savikalpa Samadhi has two aspects. And Sarupya, with form, and Sadrishya, with perception. And with form means I see you as you are seeing me. And I don't know which one of us is the reality and which one of us is the reflection. And Sadrishya means I have the same perception as you have the same perception. And here we are. The relationship is so intense that I and you is all that can be expressed. And in Nirvikalpa Samadhi, there's only one aspect. It's called Sayuj, with union. Now, Nirvikalpa, nir means without, and vikalpa means idea. And Samadhi, in Sayuj Samadhi, in Nirvikalpa Samadhi, you have Sa is all, Ma is the measurement, V of the mind is near. There is no kalpana. There's no idea. I've dissolved into the oneness, into the union. I am not. So all we can hope for, there are two forms. Either I have dissolved and there's no me, there's only you, or you have dissolved and there's only me. You can speak of it in any way, but in Nirvikalpa Samadhi you can't speak. There's no word. There is no speaker. And that's where the rishis broke down and confessed, na iti, neti, neti. So, Salokya, Samipya, Sarupya, Sadrishya, Sayuj are the five aspects of Bhav Samadhi, where there are three, a subject, object, and relationship. Savikalpa Samadhi, where there's two, there's subject and object. The relationship is so intense, it can't be defined. And Nirvikalpa, where there is only you. Or one may say, it's all me. So Ramakrishna was correct in saying we move from stage to stage as we progress in the intensity of the samadhi. The intensity of the focus of consciousness becomes more intense and more intense. I look into your eyes and I dissolve. Or I look into your eyes and you dissolve. Step by step, we move through the greater intensities of samadhi and the differing understandings, so that Anandamayi Ramakrishna had a differing experience from Totapuri, who was still at a lower level than Ramakrishna.
So the question from Kumari from Vallejo.
Yes. Hi Kumari, namaste.
Lord Krishna tells us in verse 21 that whatever form one worships, Lord grants unwavering faith in that form. Can Swamiji comment on having faith in the perfection of action as a path to God? This verse seems to be speaking about bhakti or worship of form.
No, actually, every action that we perform, Kumari, is a form of divinity to us. We focus our attention on the action, and we focus the attention on the recipient of the action, and it's all included, ingrained, and composited into one cohesive exemplification of our devotion. Am I paying attention to this action? This is the form of divinity. Am I doing it for a pure being? Am I doing it for a pure purpose? Am I doing it for God? Then this is a form of divinity as karma yoga that I am performing through the activity. For example, you come and fix all of our computers, and I know you're doing it for Sri Ma, and I know you're doing it for your guru, and I know you're doing it for God, and I know you're doing it for the community, and you're focusing, you're praying to the computer Devi to bless us with no viruses and no obstacles. And in this way, your attitude is completely pure and completely free from selfish desire. And we recognize that and appreciate it. And that is a form of worship. And that is the form of the worship that the form of divinity that your worship takes.
Question from Nanda from San Jose. Do Swamiji and Ma and other saints know about their past lives? If we do more and more sadhana, can we know more about our past lives?
Useless waste of time. I want to know about my present life. What difference does it make what I did in the past? What is important to me is what I am doing in the present. And how can I prepare my future lives? Don't spend your time looking at the past. You glean from it the lessons that you need to glean. You study history so you don't make the same mistakes. But don't spend your time thinking about the past. Oh, I know it's a great curiosity and it's a great wonder, but it's totally unverifiable. Look at your present. Look at what we are doing today, and what can we do today to make sure tomorrow is even better. I totally suggest that we leave the past. It's sankshipt the karma. Why bring it up? It's over. It's done with. In your Vartaman, make it full of nitya karma. And then when the prarabdha arrows land, you'll have nothing but a beautiful future. No need to spend time dredging up the past. People, I know many astrologers will come and say, oh, you were a princess in your last life, and you offended the king, and you stepped on the Rishi's asan, and you have all these problems today because of that. What difference does it make? Fill your present with beautiful, beautiful nitya karma. Fill your present with the Bhagavad Gita or the chanted or with love for your guru. And your future will be as bright as possible. Yes, please.
In your definition of karma yoga and using Kumari as an example, where she has focus and selfless desire, and she just wants to make it perfect for the whole community and for Ma. What's the difference between that and meditation?
There is no difference between that and meditation. Meditation means paying attention. And if you pay attention, you are in a state of meditation. That's how we achieve to yoga. Now, chitta vritti nirodha iti yoga. And the prohibition of all changes and modifications in the objects of awareness is called union. Now, if she is performing efficiently and focused and understanding what she's doing for the purpose of uplifting her community, she is in meditation, she is in yoga, she has excluded all of the confusion and all of the selfish desires from her thought process. Now, through that activity and through that capacity, through that capability of excluding all of delusion, she becomes more and more empowered to enter into the three types of samadhi that we were just talking about before. And that is what we would call the apex of meditation. Coming into the perfection of union so that not even the object of perception exists. It's just God. Are there other questions, please?
Swamiji, in verse 18, it says that we have to unite our soul in God as supreme refuge. How do we do that?
Again, I would bring us back to our discussion of the chandi. Because Bhagavad Gita again and again give us admonitions to achieve the highest union and exclude the delusion and conquer the selfishness and unite the soul in God as the supreme refuge. But it really doesn't tell us how to do that as succinctly as chandi does. Gita is the goal and chandi is the path. And this is my understanding. So please, let's if we want to study that question, we will move to the study of chandi. We'll address those issues again when we come to the study of chandi.
Swamiji, Nanda has a follow-up question.
Certainly.
She says that for many events in this life that we are unable to explain, we attribute it to something that we did in our past lives. Is there something we can consciously do to pacify any ill we did in the past actions in this life or past lives?
Absolutely. Study the Gita. Perform your nitya karma. Perform your puja, pat. Live according to Siddhanta Chara. Increase the time of nitya karma during your waking hours. All of this will consciously, motivatedly, premeditatedly assuage our previous karmas. This is our objective, is to remove all the previous karmas. And the only way that we know how to do is to fill our present with beautiful nitya karma, eternal karmas. Worship, singing for God, dancing for God, working for God, sharing about the love of God, studying and praying. Puja, pat, home. Sangit, nrit, pravachan, arpana. The 7 aspects of Siddhanta Chara. These are the activities which are enjoined by Scripture, which the rishis who have preceded us said, hey, if you do this, you will be freed from the past. May take you some time, but don't worry. Who's counting? Remember the story of Narad Muni passing by the tree where the three sadhus were meditating. The first sadhu said, Narad Muni, you are Trikaldasi, you see the past, present, and future. How long will it take me to become enlightened? Narad looked inside, he said, it's going to take you 10,000 years. 10,000 years! Oh no! Exclaimed the sadhu. Second sadhu said, how long will it take me to get enlightened? Narad Muni looked inside and said, it's going to take you 25,000 years. Oh no! Complained the second sadhu. The third sadhu said, Narad Muni, how long is it going to take me to get enlightened? And Narad looked inside and he said, it's going to take you 50,000 lifetimes. And the sadhu said, you mean I'm going to make it? He was enlightened at that moment. Because 2 of the sadhus meditating looked at the glass as half empty, and he looked at the glass as half full. It was his perception. Fill your present with a beautiful, beautiful perception so you can prepare for a glorious future. Don't worry about the cause, worry about the solution. And the solution in spiritual life is metaphysical. It's not physical. It's spiritual. So quit trying to go back in this physical history to find metaphysical solutions. You have them right here. In your satsang, in your association, in your temple, in your mandir, at your altar, wherever you have the opportunity to express your devotion to God. And here our time ends. Om Sam Saraswati Namaha. Namaste. Now, are there any other questions? Okay. Yes, please.
I've read many times mantras have power, mysterious power to reveal the intuitive meaning if they're chanted. So wouldn't this apply to the Gita if it's chanted? I mean, you just read it as philosophy. I can see it would work, but if you chant it, isn't
That is Nitya Karma.
going to come out? I mean, or even if you just did the dietary all the time.
Absolutely, as much as you can do. Please.
Why do you say that the chandi is the path and the Gita is just...
It's an expression of the goal. It defines the goal. If you use it as a sadhana and fill your life with Gita, then you have used the chandi. Because in the Gita, the verses say, read one verse, read a half a verse, read one chapter, and chandi says, read this from morning till night, backwards and forwards. And don't stop until you find the darshan of the goddess. Gita says, take refuge in me. Now, he doesn't really say, sit down and keep your knees on the floor and don't do anything else, but take refuge in me.
It's a story too, and it's at different levels. I mean, the chandi is a story, it's philosophy too, but it's the chanting and recitation that has the power.
It's true.
And does it really matter whether it's Gita or chandi
If you use it as a sadhana.
If you use it as a sadhana.
That's right. That's true. I'll agree with that. Yes, please.
Wendy from New Jersey has a question.
Yes, Wendy.
Can Swamiji please speak more about those with small intelligence?
You're looking at him. What more to say?
What is meant by this? What about people who have limited mental capacity in this life? Are they truly limited in reaching God?
No. Some of the people who have limited mental capacity have greater capacity to reach God than some of the great thinkers and schemers and those of devious conception. There are many people that are constantly scheming and thinking about their selfish desires and their selfish goals, and they can't reach God. But people of diminished capacity who think only about the love and the beauty of life, they certainly can reach to God. So I wouldn't make that qualification, Wendy. I would inspire those of